All right, good morning, Lansing. Today I am in front of the camera. I am Josh Bootsma, the managing editor of the Lansing Journal. Melanie Youngsma, the publisher, is behind the camera today. Today we are joined by George Vincent of Unlimited Service Auto here in Lansing. George, thanks for joining us on the Friday Roundup.
Oh, it's always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. I love that paper. I
Yeah.
read it. I'm a sponsor. I read it constantly.
To do this
Oh,
with
absolutely.
us, I have to ask, your nickname is Big George, correct?
Yeah.
He was George Vincent.
That came from high school.
Really?
That goes all the way back. That goes back over 50 years.
Wow.
So yeah, most people, they don't know my last name. The average
Okay.
person doesn't know my last name. The guys I golfed with for 20 years just know me as Big George. They
Okay.
don't, if you said my last name, they go, "Who's that?"
Okay. Well, here with Big George then. So I want to just start with, is it true that you have been in business since 1982?
82, 40 years this year.
Wow. Are you having a celebration or anything to mark 40 years?
I've got an old bottle of champagne in the fridge that's been back there for about 3-4 years that
Okay.
Ron picked up, on a whim for an anniversary, and we didn't use it, so we're going to save it for 40.
Okay.
It's got to be nasty by now. You think about it, Josh. That's old. That's old even for champagne.
Yeah. I imagine you have seen every make and model and customization of every car you can think of come through your shop in those 40 years.
Josh, it's wild, but I have seen transitions that go from no catalytic converters, plugs and points. 'Cause I've been at this since '69 when I graduated high school, so I've been 50 years with the wrenches.
Okay.
11 years with Chrysler, and then I opened this place. So I've seen no catalytic converters, no electronic ignition, plugs and points, cars that still had roll windows. I'm sure you don't even know what that is. To me, as a car guy, the electronics is going to be a huge change, just huge.
How do you anticipate that'll affect business as more electronic cars are coming off the line?
It's going to come later than you think, but they are coming off the line faster than I thought they would.
Yeah.
What I tell people is when you buy an electric vehicle, don't look me in the eye and tell me that it's eco-friendly, because it's not. That electricity comes from somewhere,
Right.
and it usually comes from a coal-fired plant, which stinks more than 1,000 cars. So do we need electricity? Yeah, we do. It's a good change. Well, there's a lot of people who won't give up their combustion cars.
Right. It sounds nice to peel out of the stoplight. Right.
I think they feel more comfortable with something that they can stop, put gas in, and go 500 miles,
Right.
as opposed to having to store electricity or find some place to plug in.
Right.
Searching for a gas station, if you're on vacation with the family, you're going down the highway, you see all these gas stations, you see the big signs in the road on the highway, you stop and get gas. There's no big signs that say, charge your electric car here.
Right. Right. You've also been involved with a lot of other things beyond just the car part of things. You are somewhat of a media personality.
I
George.
haven't had a radio show for 15 years. I recently, 4 years ago, changed to a Gerard Media Group, which covers 5 stations and all the social media. So that's been a real boom for that.
What's the name of your show?
Big George the Car Guy.
Big George the Car Guy. There you go. How can people listen to that show?
They can go on Facebook
Okay.
at noon on Saturday, or if they have the TuneIn app, or if they live within range of Michigan City, Benton Harbor, St. Joe, Valparaiso. We're in 3 different towns.
Okay.
AM and FM signals all over the place. But actually, the TuneIn app on your phone is the simplest way to do it,
Okay.
and it's free.
I mean, on that show, what are you talking about? You talking about car maintenance, car history?
Well,
What's
I
kind
talk
of
a little bit about everything, but
Okay.
mostly it's the state of the car world and what's going on. I'm trying to keep people informed on how fast this electric change is coming, what the changes are,
Yeah.
the technology changes, and biggest thing we do is the first part of the show is all recalls
Oh, I
of the
see.
cars you're driving. I'm on the NHTSA hot list. I get a sheet every week, every Monday, telling me what's just been recalled. Recalls that are forced by the government, the NHTSA, National Highway Transportation Safety Association. Those recalls are safety oriented, not necessarily something that makes you mad.
Sure.
Like your heater doesn't work correct, or the
right.
wipers are boogered.
Right.
They won't recall any of that, but the safety issues, anything to do with brakes or steering or suspension, that's very important. And
So you've been in Lansing for nearly 40 years. What do you love about this town? What do you love about this place?
I'm born and raised here. Over the hardware store on Torrance Avenue. I love the kid people, but that's where I was born.
So you have been here your whole life.
Never left.
Okay.
Never left. I born and raised here. I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Sold the big house, moved into a condo down the street, and that's where I'm going to spend the last years.
Okay.
I'm not getting any younger.
Sure.
And trust me, Josh, stay young. Getting old is a trick.
I'll take your advice, George.
It's real.
All right.
It's real hard.
All right.
It's not easy for the weak at heart.
So Lansing has been doing cruise nights for a long time as well. Have you been, as a car
Yes.
guy, have you been active in those?
I haven't been active with them, but I do come up to them.
Okay.
Because I know all the hot rodders that are up here sitting around in their lawn chairs that show off their cars, and I love them. I love every minute of it. The car shows in Lansing are a nice chance to get out and mingle, and everybody's here. Everybody who's anybody stops at this car show.
Yeah.
They may not be here all 3-4 hours, but they're going to be here at one time or another.
So there's one happening this weekend. You
Yep.
plan to be there?
Oh yeah.
Very good.
Oh yeah, I have a special group where I can I ride my scooter up to, because I just live down the street. I'll ride up on my scooter, and I got a group of people who don't mind if I have my cigar.
Okay. Very good.
So I can have a cigar, and I can sit there for a couple hours and smoke a cigar and watch the cars go by,
Very
and
good.
talk cars with these guys.
Yeah.
There's some great people. I mean, these people spend a lot of time and a lot of effort building these cars and making them pretty, making them real pretty. And that's the whole idea. They love to show them off. The effort that they put forth in these vehicles is astounding, Josh. It's day in, day out. I know a fellow that just wipes his down every day. Now that it's got the special paint job and the special engine, and
Sure.
it's
Sure.
just, he's amazing, and this whole thing is amazing. And the car show that they run here is very well done, very well done. Most of the people that are involved in it tell me just how great and smooth it goes. So it's well done.
I don't think you get a better recommendation than that from Big George, the car guy himself. That's August 14. If you're watching this on Saturday morning, it's later on Saturday. The Lansing Journal will be there. Big George will be there, so come out for the car show.
Oh, actually, if you listen to my radio show, you'll hear about it on the radio.
There you
show.
go. Listen to the radio show as well. So, Big George, before we go, I wanted to ask you. You've seen all these different car issues over the years. What's one thing that a car problem that people come in with that's entirely preventable that you can share just as kind of a best practice for our
I'll
listeners?
give you our best one.
Okay.
And they don't think to clean out the condensers and the radiators of all these little cottonwoods we have flying around in Lansing.
Okay.
And they come in here and they tell me I'm overheating. My air conditioning doesn't work right.
Sure.
It runs hot sometimes. And you take and you lift that cover off the top, and there it is. There's just solid, it's like your wife's dryer lint. It's so thick.
Sure. Okay.
And there's no airflow. So the car overheats, the air conditioning doesn't work right. It's just totally preventable. If you know that at home you have an air conditioner you have to rinse off, well, you've got to rinse this one too.
Sure.
If you don't know how to do it, you need to have somebody do it.
Okay.
That's
Is that
why
easy
hence
enough to
the-
do? Is it
Oh,
easy
yeah.
for someone to learn?
Absolutely. We use.
Can I learn how?
Oh, absolutely. I'll have
Okay.
Ron give you his blowgun. You can shoot it.
Oh, very good. All right.
It's fun.
Good.
It's a little messy, and it gets hard to breathe when that stuff starts flying around the room.
Well, we all have masks nowadays. Anyway, so
You're
that's
right. There you go.
easy enough.
We usually make them take it outside to blow those out because
Okay.
those little fuzzies are bad enough when they're in bloom. When you
Right.
rebloom them by blowing them out of the radiator, they're even
Right,
worse. They
right.
stink.
So that's some highly local advice for you viewers out there. Thank you.
Lansing,
for that,
that's
George.
Lansing, Oregon.
Yeah.
We are literally covered with cottonwood trees in this town.
Right.
I don't
right.
care what neighborhood you live in, you have cottonwood. You got those little fuzzies flying around in your face all the time.
Well, you heard it here first. You can do it yourself, Big George says, and if you can't, call Big George
we
up
do.
right here. 3210 Ridge Road. Is that right?
Yep,
We're
Ridge
on-
and Burnham.
We're on the corner of Ridge and Burnham, kitty corner to Village Hall across the street. Big George, thanks for joining us today for our Friday Roundup. It was a pleasure.
My pleasure, actually. I absolutely think the Lansing Journal is great.
We appreciate that.
I
think
love
you're
everything
great,
you
too.
guys do. Thanks for all you do.
All right. We'll see you at Cruise Night.
Absolutely.
All right.
I'll be the one with a cigar.
Sounds good. Thanks for tuning in, everybody.